Of the Shoreline School District, it is a privilege to receive the Shorewood class of 2011. Principal Dunbar, Shorewood staff, and teachers sitting along the side and not able to join us today as well. Parents, friends, and community members, all in attendance today. All of you have done an outstanding job in preparing these graduates for the journey that lies before them. As a community, we are collectively invested in these young adults and their future success. And today we do honor you as we honor them. You have played an integral role in getting them ready for today. But graduates, today is really about you. We are here not only to recognize the successes you have earned over the past 4 years, both academic and extracurricular, but we are also here to celebrate your future accomplishments and wish you well. Shorewood class of 2011, by all accounts, you have met and exceeded all of our expectations, just as the graduates who've come before you. Your talent and hard work will leave a powerful and inspiring legacy for current and future students, and for that, we are incredibly grateful.
They have fixed our cars and certified in a rigorous, nationally certified automotive training program. They have built robots with mentoring engineers from Boeing and the University of Washington, written and directed plays, and they have composed and performed original music and video. As athletes, this class distinguishes itself with one of the most remarkable years in recent Shorewood history. For a new school record, 7 athletes signed for Division I scholarships in the fall, and 12 additional student athletes committed to athletic scholarships at a variety of colleges and universities this spring. This class led and won Wesco League championships in each season, including more than 35 individual competitors and 200 team participants throughout the school at the state level. Shorewood seniors led our athletes to Wesco championships in swim and dive, gymnastics, and baseball, district titles in swim and dive, baseball, track, and tennis, and state top 10 results in swim and dive, cross country, in top 3 finishes at the state in flags, swim and dive, first in drill and military, first in bowling, and second in baseball in 3A state competition.
There's been a change in our musical performances tonight. First, you'll have Nate Matthews. Second, Julie Phelps. And third, Sammy Wabula Kagala. Is that not the sickest last name ever? And now, class of 2011. As your student speakers met, and we decided upon the theme for our speeches, we came up with perseverance. To be completely honest, I'm not quite sure I understand it. I mean, we've been given so much. In 8th grade, we were given a brand new football field. No, wait. They built that after we left. But when we got to Shorewood, we did get early release Mondays and open star every day. No, wait. They got rid of that in freshman year. It's okay though, we did have to blossom. But Josh, why is that a good thing? Well, to be honest, 3 out of the 4 years, we got to sleep in 2 weeks out of the year. And I don't know about you, but sleeping in during high school, personal favorite activity. But, oh wait, no, they got rid of that after we took the test. Okay, it's okay, I have one. We did get to go to prom at the EMP. It was so, no, wait. They changed that because of full-fledged. It's okay though, guys, because this one tops it. We got a brand new high school. No, wait. I'm pretty sure they're building that next year. So I guess when it comes down to it, we've persevered through a lot, through missed opportunities, and through sunken situations. Hopefully, guys, we can take this on to our futures. As we go on, and when life has us down, and we feel as though the goals we've set for ourselves are completely unachievable, when we feel we cannot make it there, we need to raise our heads, we need to step up, and we need to push through. I think FDR said it best when he said, when you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. Class of 2011, if you always hold your head up, if you always push through, if no matter how dark the situation is, you decide no one is going to tell you no. You decide that you're going to push through. There is nobody in this world that can stop you. Go on, class of 2011, hold your head up high, push through, and make a difference. And Mom, I know I didn't tell you I was speaking, but surprise.
our playground. Those were the times we would cling to our parents, looking up to them like they were superheroes, and knew absolutely everything. Our siblings were our best friends and our worst enemies. Elementary school was chock full of memories that are embarrassing, but will last a lifetime. Then there was middle school, a time that I'm sure many of us would like to wipe from our memories. We rocked our fat off our classics, listening to Hillary Duff and NSYNC. Not everyone enjoyed Laugh the Teacher or the Fun Run like Lisa Santrock and Colin Wilkins did. We were awkward and getting used to who we were and how to carry ourselves. Despite all of that, middle school was a time that many of our friendships that still ring true today were formed. The first 2 years of high school were significantly better than middle school. We had open campus lunch, befriended upperclassmen who would take us out to eat, and we were all optimistic for the last 4 years before college. Freshman and sophomore year were defined by classes like biology, moments like our first homecoming on Tolo, and getting that pass to freedom, our license. Although I don't have an eye touch myself, I know that Words with Friends was a significant part of many of your lives this senior year. That and Fruit Ninja. Junior and senior year have easily been the best 2 years of my life. I think I can speak for almost everyone when I say we have now discovered who we are, where we're going, and where we've come from. Events such as Powerpuff Dodgeball and Powerpuff Volleyball, Homecoming, Mr. SHS, and Prom have brought us together as a unified class, one of the best that Shorewood has ever seen in its history. Now, we've put aside most of these seemingly historic electronic devices and are moving on. We've all been through a roller coaster ride of 13 years to get to this point, graduation. As we pack up our new laptops for college and say goodbye to our family and friends, we have to remember that this is just the start of another journey that we are embarking on. I have to quote the lyrics of a song that many of you enjoyed singing to me this last year. As we go on, we remember all the times we've had together, and as our lives change from whatever, we will still be friends forever. Class of 2011, I will never forget the amazing experiences I had at Shorewood. And as we're all here together for the last time, I want to say thank you. Thank you for helping to shape me into the person I am today, into the person I will be when I start my new adventures in college. You are all amazing people, and you will succeed no matter what you do in the future. Because that's what we, the class of 2011, have done since the very beginning. Persevered and succeeded. Thank you.
In the words of the late Michael Jackson, this is it. 13 years ago, we walked into our respective kindergarten classrooms. Today, we're crossing a stage to leave high school. We've persevered to this point, our high school graduation. Despite any missed opportunities, we're all here today at this great opportunity. Today, we cross the stage. We leave behind a world of high school, of truancy laws, and of conformity. From this point forward, the world is ours for the taking. This is an opportunity we can't and won't miss. We're rising up to the challenge of filling a blank page. We might go to college, we might travel, we might work, or we might live the life on our parents' couch, watching reruns of the OC. For the first time, we are making our own decisions. What a liberating and terrifying thought. Who am I? Which classes should I take? Where should I work? What kind of bread should I buy? All these questions, to which we need to find answers. Through my 4 years at Shorewood, I can honestly say that I've matured as both a student and a human being. I remember my first 3 days. I felt like a small fish swimming upstream. I grabbed onto the back of my friend's backpack and was dragged from class to class. Now, 4 years later, I can comfortably navigate the halls of Shorewood with the swagger of an entitled senior. Well, almost a graduate. They say that high school is the best 4 years of your life. I don't disagree. I think high school has encompassed the best and worst of my life to date. I've hit both my highs and lows over these years at Shorewood. These last 4 years haven't provided the smoothest path for me, but today is a day to acknowledge that each and every one of us has faced unique trials and pains. My highs and lows have created an individual who feels both accomplished and proud, but also acutely aware of the challenges and obstacles that I will face in the future all on my own. Shorewood has taken me from a timid, sheltered 14-year-old and brought me to the confident, proficient, mature 18-year-old that I am today. During my 4 years at Shorewood, I've learned the answers to some of life's questions, but I know that the next years will continue to shape me. We as a class may have missed opportunities, but today, at graduation, this is not an opportunity that should be viewed indifferently. We're graduating and we have the opportunity to move out into the world and make what we want of it. I have so much faith in you guys. We have persevered, and I know we will continue to persevere, whether we're here in Shoreline, in New York, or in Japan. Take care, my fellow seniors, and take this opportunity and run with it. Thank you.
There's a light in the darkness, though the night is black as my skin. There's a light burning bright, showing me the way. But I know where I've been. There's a light in the distance. It's a cry that comes from deep within. There's a cry in my heart, showing me the way. 'Cause I know where I've been. There's a road we've been traveling, lost so many on the way. But the riches, oh, the riches will be plenty, worth the price we had to pay. There's a
I want to thank each and every member of a graduates family that is here today. Your commitment to your kids is no small part of why they sit before you now. Now, before I begin my speech, I have a question to ask you, audience members and grads alike. How many of you have heard of some of America's generations? The silent generation, the lost generation, the baby boomers, X, Y, etc. How many of you have heard of the greatest generation? The greatest generation is the name given by Tom Brokaw to the generation born from 1910 to 1925. External forces like none before shaped this generation, and I want to take you through their lives. Their childhood was during the affluent and material wealth of the roaring 20s. Then, in 1929, the economic prowess came crashing down with the collapse of the stock market, and so begins the Great Depression. December 7th, 1941, a stunned America listens over the radio to President Roosevelt describing the events that become known as a day that will live in infamy. The attack on Pearl Harbor led the United States to enter World War II within the hour of FDR's speech. Hundreds of thousands of young American men immediately volunteered to fight this great evil that had flown out of the dark. With so many men off fighting a war, coupled with the demand for war machinery, women found their place in the workforce. By 1944, 12 million men were serving in uniform, and 35% of the workforce was composed of women. Clearly, this was a generation unlike any before. Why do I tell you this? The people that were raised during this time were different than any generation America has ever produced. They experienced hardship like nothing before while still children. They witnessed firsthand the terror, sorrow, and anger of being attacked for no reason. And they gave up their own ambitions to serve in foreign countries and in homegrown factories. And by no means did they do this out of selfish ambition. They did it because it was honorable, because it was needed, and most of all, because it was the right thing to do. And my favorite part is that they did it with humility, with class, and with selflessness. We don't get fed much of those values anymore. Humility is trampled with every touchdown dance and every three-point basket. Class is spit on by the men we elect to make our laws and to run our governments. And selflessness is mocked by the corporate culture of getting ahead. Despite all this, I still believe that the people who sit before you now, my classmates, are bound for greatness. We too have had many historical events shape our lives already. Most of us were born in 1992 or 1993. In third grade, we woke up the morning of September 11th to find that terrorists had flown planes into World Trade buildings and the Pentagon. Since 2001 and 2003 respectively, America has been fighting wars overseas in Afghanistan and in Iraq. And in September of 2007, the housing market began to collapse, leading to the downward spiral that created what is now known as the Great Recession. It's easy to see the historical parallels between the greatest generation that came before you and the generation who sits before you now. But however, considering these similarities, what I am about to ask of my classmates is a tall order. I believe wholeheartedly that these people can change the world. And very few times in our country's history has a generation entered the world in a time more ripe for change. To guide you into making change for the betterment of all of our nation and all of mankind, I have some advice to offer you from the greatest members of the greatest generation. From Ronald Reagan, to sit back hoping that someday, somewhere, someone will make things right, is to go on feeding the crocodile, hoping he will eat you last, but eat you he will. So 2011, take initiative, do what's right, and never let anyone else control your own destiny. From Billy Graham, comfort and prosperity have never enriched the world so much as adversity has. 2011, persevere, and do not take your blessings for granted. Instead, work hard so that your children and their children can have even more opportunities before them. And finally, from John Wooden, success comes from knowing that you did the best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. Class of 2011, you are capable of becoming the next great generation. Thank you, and may God bless you in all that you do.
Seniors, today it is also important to recognize and thank those people who have come to celebrate with you, the members of our audience, your parents, guardians, families, and friends. You would not be here tonight without their commitment and support. Please stand, seniors, and give a round of applause to express your appreciation for everything your parents, guardians, friends, and family members have done to support you. Please be seated. Thank you.
William J. Matthews.
Nate Matthews.
Grant Lawrence Alford.
Helen Marie Stimson.
Patrick John Aragon.
Zoe Manuel Rogero.
Simon Douglas Aspinall.
Jeannie Marinella.
Stephanie Ann Babb.
Anak Abuni.
Michael Scott Whitehead.
Julie An.
Johanna Bendoy.
Shayla Allen.
Mackenzie Lauren Bang.
Priscilla Asari.
Thomas Charles Bailey.
Alexander Bradley Auger.
Carter McCabe Bean.
Cassandra Baden.
Colin Douglas Bell.
Samuel Ryan Barlow.
Tiana Julia Benedict.
Paul Bartel.
Peter Berquist.
Cassandra Ann.
I don't see Colin singing. Oh, he must have heard me. He just started to sing a little bit. He doesn't know the words? You know that's being recorded. He'll hear you say that.
And now, graduates of Shorewood High School class of 2011, please join me in the last symbolic act of graduation by moving your tassels from right to left.